Hi, I'm O. Ha 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 ha.
And I'm TJ, as in a two-letter name for a podcaster.
And this is...
It's still new to us, damn it!
Welcome to Us to Know Us Down. I'm Mo, and he's TJ, he just said, and we're here to watch every movie ever made to be invited to parties.
Yeah, don't you want to invite us to parties after that?
Yeah.
Invite us, we can talk about the Hudsucker Proxy as well as some other banter, right?
Yeah, definitely.
How are you, Mo?
I'm doing okay. How are you doing today, TJ?
I'm doing okay as well. It's a Monday, but it's at least sunny.
Sunny, the sun's out.
Walkable temperature here in southeast Michigan. The Pistons are on a roll.
Lions assigned a cornerback.
Yeah, they definitely needed that.
Wrestling's going great. I'm loving. It's a good day.
Oh, I guess we can go ahead and... Should we go ahead and enter
the banter
zone? Do we do that?
I guess we do it. We just gotta decide. Across the world of the seventh dimension, you're now entering the banter zone.
Very good.
Yes, thank you.
I
think that's way better than the Highway to the Banter Zone.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree, especially... I agree wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm.
Twilight Zone references trump a lot of other references.
That's true.
I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, go ahead. You can lead us off today.
I had a bass teacher whose band name was Number 12 Just Looks Just Like You.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
A reference to a classic Twilight Zone episode.
True.
I like that.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's the one I think where in the future, like, you have to choose a model of body or something.
Yeah,
right?
you gotta...
I've been rewatching them, but that's a season 5 one I haven't got.
Yeah.
I'm still stuck in... I guess I'll start the banner time. I'm still stuck in the doldrums of season 4. Many of whose episodes aren't necessarily bad. They're just longer.
Yeah.
And just... The show, like I said, probably the last 2 or 3 episodes now, just it's not made for the hour-long format.
Yeah, so what episode was the last one you watched?
The last one I watched may still have been the last one from our last episode. The one that I'm on that I have to watch now is the one with Robert Duvall, Miniature, where he is like kind of like a lonely, socially inept man who falls in love with a doll, and like his mom like worries about him. It's actually not a bad episode. It's just, again, like, they're just so long. I like the snappy pace of the half-hour episodes. It just works better. Rod Serling's I don't know. That was his bread and butter, was the half hour.
That's true.
So I'm just kind of stuck there. I do have some good ones coming up from that season, though. I really like the one with Martin Balsam, where he plays the curator of a museum that, like, it's like... serial killer museum. It's like a macabre type thing.
Oh yeah, I think I kind of remember that one.
He has to keep the figurine, the wax statues at his house in his basement, and they start coming to life. And that's a good one.
Yeah, I know that one.
The new exhibit, I believe. There's a couple good ones that I'm looking forward to there. Printer's Devil with Burgess Meredith. Otherwise, though, what the hell else have I watched? I watched Big Trouble in Little China the other night.
Awesome!
It was on Amazon Prime, and I hadn't seen that since high school.
That movie's awesome.
It is an awesome movie.
Yeah.
Still very enjoyable. Probably, definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And still a movie that just the practical effects just look awesome to this day.
Definitely.
Awesome.
And the guy blows up.
Oh my god, it's so great. It's just so great. Love that movie.
The best thing about that movie, if you watch like the Red Letter Media video of it,
I have not. What, a review?
Yeah, it's a review.
Nice.
It's just like the whole movie. He's not supposed to be there. He keeps on getting dragged along to this mayhem, and it's just like, oh, fine, I'll do it. And
that's the best through line of that whole movie is like there's all this mysticism shit going on. He doesn't give a shit. It's kind of like Ash in the Evil Dead, kind of, where like he's along for the ride, and like where they're all talking in riddles and like in talking of like ancient prophecies and superstition and stuff. He's just like, let's go in there guns blazing. It's a very good fish out of water, almost like buddy movie kind of,
True.
No, a lot of good things to like about that movie. If you've never seen it, go watch it or invite us to a party and talk about it.
And we can watch it.
Otherwise, though, I watched this movie that we're going to talk about shortly, and then immediately before I had a chance to reset Tubi, the app that this movie was found, it decided with the wisdom of whatever algorithm powers it, It went from this film that we watched from 1994 to 1978's The Great Train Robbery, starring Sean Connery and Donald Sutherland.
Wow, that sounds exciting.
It was good, actually. It was directed by Michael Crichton, who wrote the novel that it's based on. I will say it's about just under 2 hours long. It's on Tubi, and there are a couple longer expository scenes that could have been cut in the first hour, but the action for a 1978 movie, very good. Sean Connery literally runs across the top of a moving locomotive in the final act.
Damn.
It's good. I was actually very impressed. I thought it would be kind of a bad movie, but no, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Otherwise, I'm torn. I told you last time I read the first 2 Dune books. I'm torn between starting the third or starting the Hyperion Canto series. So I've still been trying to make up my mind on that, and that's about it. That's about all I got.
All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw Mikey 17.
You did?
Yeah, the new Bong Joon-ho movie. Yes.
How was that?
It was good.
Yeah?
They're on the nose. They were like hammering you in the head. It's like capitalism's bad. You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
Very heavy-handed on that. But
sure.
I'm guessing it's Bong Joon-ho style. Because I guess his last also American movies were kind of like that also. Like companies are evil. They basically use you until you die.
Yeah. Well, that kind of is a universal thread, as we'll see. As we'll talk about shortly. But
But anyway, Robin Pattinson gave an amazing performance. He was great in it. There's a lot of funny moments in it. And definitely go check it out. Yeah. Definitely not better than Parasite. Maybe not his best film. I don't know. I've only seen 2 films of Bong
everything can be your best film.
Bong Joon-ho. So Parasite and this. So I know there's like he's done way better. The Host, Memories of a Murder, Mom, I believe, or Mother, I believe is one of his movies. Yeah. Especially his Korean stuff is actually is way better. So but still,
maybe we'll do a retrospective.
Maybe we'll do it. Yeah, I'd say a solid 3.5 stars if I would do it out of 4. Good movie. Good,
okay.
Out of all ratings, 4.5 stars. So
out of 6, okay.
Out of 6, yes.
I see. All right.
Yes.
Well, that's
a good movie.
Good, though.
Go check it out. I tried to watch a movie called Death Trap, but I got really bored of it. It's a comedy about Christopher Reeve, who's a failed playwright, and is going to kill a student who gave him a script to take credit for the script he wrote.
Oh, I like the concept.
Yeah. It was Sidney Lumet directed it, I believe. It's a comedy. I don't know. I tried to watch it and I was like, this is boring. And then I put on Strange Brew, and then I got tired, and then I stopped watching Strange Brew. So
it's a shame when you're really looking forward to something and then it just bores you.
Yeah. That was from Strange Brew, because that's the signal from the Great White North.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That explains it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. TV-wise, not watching much. I am watching cartoons because I am a grown man, and grown men are allowed to watch cartoons. A show called Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. It's actually really good. It's a Marvel show.
Marvel show? Really?
Yeah, yeah. It only lasted 2 seasons, unfortunately, but it was actually really good. Lawrence Fishburne plays a character called the Beyonder in it. He's amazing in it.
Oh, I know of the Beyonder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I like to call him Larry Fishburne. People think I have some kind of industry inside. And no, none whatsoever.
He was called Larry Fishburne for a while, so you're allowed to call him.
True, but that was a long time ago, and I don't do it for that illusion. I do it to be one of those jackasses that you'll see like in behind the scenes featurettes that are like, Bob De Niro and I got lunch that those Hollywood insider people.
Bill Hader and Fran Armisen have a great bit about Lorne Michaels, where Lorne Michaels knows everybody. Yeah. He's like his friends are all famous and stuff like that, like Martin Scorsese, like the most famous people you have ever heard of.
Yeah.
And he said so I did the impression, he would just be like, we would talk about every time he said every time Lorne Michael would go out with friends, we just replace him with serial killers. It's like, me and the BTK killer just went to the village to get some green tea one time, and it was just
that is funny.
Yeah.
But when you're Lorne Michaels, you've earned that right.
I guess so.
To talk about your lunch with Bob De Niro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, let's see. I am reading a book. I'm trying to read finished books I've started. So, right now I'm reading a book called The Saturday Night Ghost Club about a kid growing up in Canada in the 1980s. And his uncle believes in spirits, and they try to see if spirits are real. And basically him growing up in the 1980s and meeting friends and girls and stuff like that. Especially a coming age story. And I don't know. I don't really know the point yet. I don't know what's it going to lead down to. Is it going to lead down to a bigger thing that they have to deal with, or I don't know. For right now, we're just going daily by daily about his life, and he's telling it from the present and the future and the past. So he's telling us what's happening now. He's grown up. He's telling us stories back then. So I don't know what the main thing's gonna be, but it could be something because I think they found something and it's really messing with people. So yeah, that's good.
All right.
And I guess we can talk about wrestling since AEW Revolution was last night.
Go for it.
People aren't happy, of course.
The Rizzler was there.
The Rizzler was there. That was the best. That was one of the best parts.
All right.
He dressed like Orange Cassidy.
I did see a photo of him with Orange Cassidy.
That was great.
Pretty funny, yeah.
John Morrison's girlfriend. What's her name? I forgot her name, but she's a valet and also
what
a
does
wrestler.
he go by these days?
Johnny TV.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny TV. His girlfriend or his wife just took the double chocolate crunch chunk cookie from the Rizzler.
Oh, nice.
Tyler Valkyrie, yeah. Tyler Valkyrie just took the cookie from the Rizzler.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah. That was great, yeah. It's just some fun. It was great.
Do you give AEW, what was it last night? Which one?
What
was the show called again?
Revolution.
Do you give AEW Revolution 5 big booms?
Yes.
Do it.
Boom! 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 Boom!
Oh, I love to hear it.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on though.
Yeah, that was fun. Actually, the card was really great. The main event, it probably should not have been the main event, but they tried the best at least. I mean, they were going up right after the steel cage match with Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher, which was amazing.
Nice.
So that was really difficult, no matter what. So
yeah.
People argue that the women's championship should have been the main event. I kind of agree with that, to be honest with you. But, I didn't say it ruined the show or anything like that.
Is it Toni Storm?
Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Okay. It was a bloody affair. It was total nonstop action. It was only 10 minutes long, but it had the most of anything in the match. I think it was my match of the night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Who won?
It was, Toni Storm. There's a great part at the end. It was called the Hollywood ending match. And then it's just at the very end of the match, Toni Storm power drive Mariah May through the table that said Hollywood ending on it. And so she pinned her, and you can see, from the crane shot, it says the Hollywood ending, and you see Toni Storm just laying on Mariah May.
Oh, badass.
Yeah, it was cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That was definitely cool.
Yeah, actually, now I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
That's pretty damn cool,
it was
actually,
pretty,
yeah. Oh, this was bloody shit.
Yeah, it was, yeah. But
cool.
Revolution was a good show, definitely.
Good, I'm glad to hear it.
An event tried. I don't know. They just need to fix something with the main event scene. Hopefully Swerve Strickland helps it a lot.
Yeah.
Because Swerve Strickland's one of the hottest guys in all of wrestling right now. I mean, people love him. You should have seen him when he came at the very end. The whole place went, whose house? Swerve's house.
He attacked Moxley at the end?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. I saw some people complaining or criticizing the fact that Christian Cage cashed in during the match and not after, like a heel normally would. Was that a thing he could have done?
Possibly, yeah. He could have waited to any of the match, but we didn't. But if we go by kayfabe terms, we don't know. They don't know when the match is going to end. So
I know, and I'm just relaying opinion I read. I didn't watch the event.
I mean, it doesn't really. I don't know. I don't think it really matters what time you do it, as long as you do it. And he had a chance to do it, but unfortunately.
Well, I think their point was, why not wait until Moxley's all won, and then Coper, is not part of the.
I think people are just upset that Christian Cage is not the AEW World Champion.
I think so.
Yeah,
and that I understand.
Yeah,
Christian Cage is very likable as a heel, as this really dark.
And
heel
unfortunately,
for a change.
This John Moxley, his whole it's not the best he's ever done before. I mean, he's had better promos and stuff.
He's in a violent era.
Yeah,
that's okay.
That's fine. Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I think he's just trying to be NWO Hulk Hogan, but you have to be Hulk Hogan to be NWO.
Correct.
He was literally the biggest star ever, and nobody. He's like John Cena when he turned heel. Nobody thought that was going to happen. Nobody thought Hulk Hogan was going to turn heel, and then he did. And John Moxley is not like that. He wasn't always the biggest star, first of all, and he's also been a heel before, so it's not like
That's true. Because in the biggest promotion, he kind of was an underdog. Like, he was a world champion, but Vince booked him in some shitty ways toward the end of his run.
Yeah.
You bring up the John Cena one. We'll see how that plane lands, but
Yeah.
that is certainly...
Why was Travis Scott there?
That's the worst part of it all.
I don't get it.
I don't know why you're allowing this guy. He bursts Cody Rhodes' eardrum, apparently.
Really?
With a slap to the head. Apparently, that, I don't know if that's just being fed to the media.
It would have been great if it was just The Rock and John Cena, but for some reason Travis Scott's there.
I don't know why he's there. I don't. I will say it was interesting. He had that like modernized hardcore belt. Did you notice that?
I think I saw that.
Which I guess is kind of funny because I always thought the hardcore belt was funny itself.
Yeah.
And so to put it in like the shape of the new belts is interesting. But I don't know why Travis Scott was there, what he was promoting, or just I don't know why you'd have a non-wrestler like that.
Yeah,
hitting your champion.
Yeah, I watched a review of like the first fall at Netflix.
Yeah.
And one of the main complaints is basically like you're taking away the crap in wrestling. 'Cause that's wrestling. Wrestling, to be honest with you, it's kind of shit. Like a lot of it, sometimes it's really bad. But a lot of time, sometimes it's great. And when you watch it when it's great, it's the best thing you've seen.
Yeah.
And you're kind of taking out the crap because you need the crap also with the greatness because that's
true.
what wrestling is. That's
it
what
shows. Yeah, it highlights the greatness of the. I mean, look at 90% of the Attitude Era. Not 90%, but a lot of the Attitude Era was not good wrestling.
No,
it wasn't. It was buoyed by interesting. They just they hit that perfect. Struck a nerve, I guess, with American society.
Yeah.
About the universal desire to give our bosses a stone cold stunner.
True.
Now the wrestling, technically, I'd say is far. I mean, it's
far better. Yeah.
Objectively, but you kind of have to sell your soul. You look at like Elimination Chamber, for instance. It was a pretty good pay-per-view all around. I thought all four, but that's the point. All four matches were great, but that's the point. There were only 4 of them.
Yeah.
Name one, like that was not acceptable.
Then AEW Revolution has too many matches, and then you had to.
See, isn't that funny how that works? Now again, you pay per view for one of them. And the other one you pay $9-10 a month or whatever for Peacock, and you get ads, and you just take the good with the bad. But I don't know. The product has just changed significantly, and without going too far on a tangent, what did you think of the Cena heel turn?
I was surprised. I thought that would never. I thought that was never going to happen.
I didn't think it would happen.
Why did The Rock want Cody Rhodes' soul?
See, now I don't follow the regular TV aside from kind of reading brief recaps. I thought that was a little goofy to hear Rock say, "I need your soul." Like, what are you, Shang Tsung?
Yeah.
Like, I need your soul.
What if he said yes? What does that mean? He's gonna follow you then, or like?
I guess he'd sell out and be the corporate. I think they were trying to do the corporate champion type thing, which is fine, I suppose. But I don't know. Cena I need to hear from Cena more from him because I like the idea of him going rogue this late. I really do. I don't want him to be some kind of like Rock patsy though. In the end, who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, who knows what's gonna happen?
It certainly is shocking, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it is probably the biggest heel turn since Hogan. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a generational superstar.
True.
Right? You never. Yeah.
Once again, that's the problem with Moxley right now. Like he's trying to be like Hulk Hogan, like I'm gonna destroy everybody, and but. Once again, you have to have that type of personality, and his history is just not that.
And let's be honest, there will never be another Hulk Hogan because he was that first generational superstar, right?
Yeah.
He was the first one national.
True.
Right? Before then, it was all territories. Regardless, though, I like Moxley. I haven't followed AEW religiously, but I've always respected his talent and just his willingness to do whatever for the fans,
True. And I don't know, like... The first storyline wasn't that great because I don't know. They try to separate. It should have just been Orange Cassidy. Truthfully, I think I saw like a clip that says like AEW has a great problem, and the great problem is they have a lot of great people going after the title. Problem is they have a lot of great people going after the title. There should just be one person going after the title right now. So like the Fatal 4-Way was very short. I don't know why. Maybe because they ran out of time, or maybe they focused more on the angle than the actual match itself, and Edge came on, and it was okay. It started going good and stuff like that, but unfortunately people wanted, I don't know, it's just like, I don't think John Moxley's like diminishing the belt at all, because he's John Moxley. He's going to do whatever he wants to do, but, hopefully, I mean, you got Swerve Strickland, so everybody loves Swerve Strickland, so hopefully this match will be 10 times better, and Dynasty comes,
Oh, I'm sure they'll. I mean, you're never gonna please everybody,
True.
obviously, especially all wrestling fans. I'm sure AEW still has their little niche that they operate from in the wrestling ecosystem, and I think they do a good job. And
True. I'm just dealing with like the immediate backlash of like WWE because like you know what happened, like WWE faltered, and then a new wrestling film came rising. Everybody's like, yeah, wrestling's back.
Yep.
But then when the old stuff gets good again, people just abandon it, and then
that's the same.
Like I don't know, it feels like every little thing. If AEW does every little thing, like one thing bad, or like somebody makes a minor mistake, something people blow it out of proportion as like the worst thing ever.
100. You're right. You know, the ice gets thinner. For
yeah,
the
like
WWE gets.
I was watching the pre-show because they have matches on it, and in the beginning, some of the microphones didn't work, and I understand that that's not the best look, but my guess WWE also has microphone problems sometimes, and you know, people aren't like. I don't know. Maybe because
these are hard production. They're live productions.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I just read too much into wrestling Twitter and like that's poisoned my mind and everything. And
no, you're just not an asshole that has to nitpick, dude. Technical difficulties happen.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's a bad look and it sucks.
Yeah.
But you can rebound from it.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? There's no. It doesn't have to be.
Or like if a storyline doesn't hit, like it's not like Roman Reigns, so like nothing's gonna beat the tribal chief. I'm sorry. Okay.
Correct.
It's an amazing storyline. It's one of the best storylines ever told. Okay, you don't have to compare every storyline that a company does to that storyline.
Yeah.
Or like I don't know, like is WWE really doing the best storytelling right now? I mean, they're doing
Probably
good.
Not. I mean, they're doing good, but it's not nearly as good as Cody's chase. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Cody's a good champion by all means.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But the chase was always the more enjoyable part.
That's true.
Right?
Like, is every storyline WWE the best in history right now? No. It's like every storyline in AEW is not the best in history. You know. I don't know.
You know, the older I get, the more I appreciate the like. You know, like Pluto TV, I'll turn on a random Next Generation episode or Columbo episode and Twilight Zone, whatever.
Yeah.
And I like the fact that I don't have to pick sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like old days of cable. That's kind of what we're moving back toward. But you gain a greater appreciation for those episodes that you don't revisit because they're not as good. But they, first of all, a lot of times you revisit them and they're better than you remember them being, and they serve to build up the really good ones. You know what I mean? And that's just the nature thing. Not everything is S tier. Not everything can be S tier.
Yeah.
So you take the good with the bad, and you allow the bad to just be you just hope it's a transition thing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's all.
That's it. Yeah.
People need to mellow out. If you don't like the product, you don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
But if you watch it long enough, something tells me you'll find something to like about
True, yeah. And I love Orange Cassidy. I love Swift Strickland. I'm loving the women's division right now. I'm loving, what else? I'm loving Daniel Garcia. Mm-hmm. He's amazing, And
Darby Allin.
When he comes back, I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, he's injured.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega.
Kenny Omega had a great match.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega match kind of ended... Not abruptly, but
Did he
won the title, but it was a roll-up. So the thing is now also like I watched a review and somebody said like they do a lot of roll-ups AEW. So every time everybody does a roll-up to win, I picture it in my mind, and it's just like.
So does WWE though. Probably not as many, but they do that too. Yeah. And I will say like I was watching. I picked a random pay-per-view, old pay-per-view on Peacock yesterday while I was just doing household chores. My family was coming over, and I just put that on in the background in the meantime. And it was No Mercy 2005.
Mercy 2005. That was Eddie Guerrero versus Batista, right?
Yes. Good memory.
Yeah.
It's like if not his last pay-per-view, his second to last.
I think so. Yes, because he died in
November 2005.
November 2005.
No Mercy was October.
Yeah, because I remember One Night Stand. He should have One Night Stand. He was very. They seemed very angry, him and Benoit, for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah. And then the No Mercy build is happening, and
and he's trying to prove, hey, I'm not that bad guy anymore. So it's kind of weird. Like Batista's a face and he's a face, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but
how do you feel about Batista? Do you feel like because I feel like in history is like he was the worst wrestler than John Cena, but he was like the second guy, so people didn't stand on him so much.
He had to be the second guy. I mean, the guy, just look at him.
Yeah.
As long as he is at least passable in the ring, he can be a champion.
Yeah.
I have no issue with Batista's time in the Federation or the WWE, on the top of SmackDown's card. Right? Yeah. I would say Cena was the better wrestler and on the mic too, but I have no ill will toward Batista. Certainly not
No.
the best technical wrestler ever, but I mean, just look at the guy. The guy, he was born to be a wrestler.
True.
You know what? I give him credit. He had several matches with Great Khali, and he somehow didn't
he had to
die,
do that. Yeah.
or kill Khali. So
True.
I give him credit for that.
True.
That's funny you bring that up though, because every time I end up invariably watching a Batista champ like that era, I like for some reason I remember Batista. I remember watching those matches when they aired. For some reason, I never think of him though when I think back on that era. It takes me a second anyway. I'm like, John Cena, obviously Edge. Edge was big.
Yeah.
Undertaker had a resurgence and whatnot. And oh yeah, Batista was there.
Yeah.
And anyway, though, all I was getting at was it's weird watching, someone hits their finisher and that's game over.
Yeah.
Because now it's like you'd never. And again, they have
That's
to
true.
evolve.
And that was
They
one
have
of the
to
problems.
evolve.
Yeah, that was one of the problems with when we went to Indianapolis and we watched Full Gear. The matches was taking too long. They kept on trying to extend it with extending finishes, stuff like that. And that kind of hurt the show, but it didn't ruin the show, of course. But,
No, and I get it. You have to surprise people. And
Yeah.
now it's almost like if you were to go back to the one finisher ends it, that would be surprising.
Yeah, it would be surprising. Yeah.
But, that's some good wrestling banter.
Yeah,
Very
that's good. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I guess we got to exit the banter zone.
Until next time.
Until next time, this is the Banter Zone. Brought to you by cigarettes.
In our next banter zone, we've got Charles Matheson who penned us a beautiful script about the road to WrestleMania. You're not going to want to miss this one, folks.
That's a good one.
You can't see it, but I have a cigarette in my hand.
Oh, yes, I see it. Yeah. Okay, TJ, let's talk about the movie we actually watched this week. Okay. It's one of your movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it better?
You can tell because it's actually got a real budget.
Yeah. But is it better than A Night at Magic Castle? Is it better than Tommy, I forgot the name. Tommy Trickster?
Yes.
And the traveling stamps?
And the sorcerer's stamps?
Stamps, I forgot the line. Is it better than those movies,
Stamp
TJ?
Traveler.
Stamp Traveler, that's right.
I would confidently say this was better than those movies. Yes, this Coen Brothers directed, Sam Raimi assisted, written movie was better than those. Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we watched the Hudsucker Proxy, released in 1994, directed by the Coen Brothers. Well, technically Joel.
Yes.
But
interesting, eh?
Yeah. So they're known for directing Miller's Crossing and The Lady Killers. Do you know if they switch off? Like Ethan directs one, then Joel directs one, or is it mostly?
I thought that they I always thought they directed together. So when I saw his name solo, I was surprised by that.
Yeah. So yeah. Also written by the Coen Brothers, Ethan and Joel, and also helped by Sam Raimi, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man 3.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
He's so proud of Spider-Man 3.
I would be too. You gave us Bully Maguire.
Bully Maguire, baby.
The best thing ever to come out.
I do those dance moves.
Yeah.
I genuinely do those dance moves any chance I can.
Starring Tim Robbins, Jacob's Ladder, and Howard the Duck. Famous movie.
He's proud of Howard the Duck.
Where the girl who played Michael J. Fox's mother in Back to the Future fucked a duck.
That's right.
Yes.
They were duck tits, too.
They were duck tits.
From the mind of George Lucas.
Yes.
See, it's important that we have the duck tits. How come he never gave that movie a special edition treatment?
That's true.
He should.
Yeah.
Because honestly, that movie, I will stand by. It's a fun movie to watch.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid, but it's a fun movie
crazy.
to watch.
It's way better than Tommy Tricker and the traveling stamp berries is
fucking water.
It's fucking stupid, but that's non-enjoyable as shit. But that's how the duck is. It's like, yeah, I want to see this fucking crazy movie where this girl fucks a duck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not you want to see this crazy movie where a guy turns tricks in an alleyway for stamps?
Yeah. Jennifer Jason Leigh, Backdraft, which is awesome. I love Backdraft.
Never actually seen it, but I've been twice to the Universal Studios exhibit of it where they show like the whole set go up in flames.
I guess the ride is more popular than the actual movie itself, but I just like watching it.
Kurt Russell's in that, right?
Yeah, so is Billy Baldwin, yeah.
I knew I knew it wasn't the A Baldwin, the B Baldwin.
Yeah, I mean Jennifer Jason Leigh has a very small role in it, but that's just one of my favorite movies. Also, Amityville: The Awakening.
Okay.
Yeah. And Paul Newman, Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, and Twilight. Not the one you're thinking of.
Oh, okay.
The other
you
one.
threw me for a loop there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
when we couldn't decide on games, I wanted to play a game where I would say a title of a movie, and you had to guess which year, and I would just have the titles of the same movies. It'd be like Twilight, and you say 2007. Nope, 1998.
That would have been pretty funny.
Yeah,
actually.
definitely. Yeah, I never could figure out the game. So I was just like,
did I ever tell you about the time I went to see a movie by myself? It was like the only time, and I was like, it was one of my early years of college.
really?
And like, I was just, I don't know. I got to college, I was so like pampered by how easy high school was.
Yeah.
And so like when college challenged me, I don't know. I skipped a bunch of classes.
Oh, same. Yeah, I fell down. Yeah.
I skipped a bunch of classes, and one of them I checked the movie times. I said 9. Oh, I thought it was the Tim Burton movie or the animated one. No,
Yeah.
It was a musical starring Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis.
It ended up being really good,
Yeah.
actually.
It was actually better than the movie
That's
9.
a good movie.
Yeah.
9 is a good movie.
Yeah. True.
I don't know what made. Oh, because they're both named 9. Anyway, go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So the budget of this film was $25 million and only made $11 million.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oof.
We'll review that later on in the podcast when we go over the...
Studios do not like losing money.
Yeah, we'll go over it when we go over the year of 1994 in movies.
Mm-hmm.
But TJ, what is this movie about?
The Hudsucker Proxy. It's December 1958, and business school graduate Norville Barnes struggles to find fruitful employment, so he takes a back-breaking, dehumanizing job in the mailroom of Hudsucker Industries. 44 floors above him, Waring Hudsucker, the company's founder, abruptly, and for seemingly no reason, hurls himself out of the window during a board meeting. Upon discovery that Hudsucker's death opens his majority stock holdings for public purchase at the start of the new year, less than a month away, Waring's right-hand man, Sid Musburger, a shrewd and ruthless businessman, plots to install a new company president so incompetent that the public loses all faith in Hudsucker Industries by the start of January. That would deflate the company's stock value and allow the board to purchase the firm entirely. When Norville goes to deliver a blue envelope letter to the company's new de facto leader, Musburger takes him as a rube and promotes him to the company's president on the spot. Manipulated by Musburger, Norville indeed mismanages the company at first, and its stock value plummets. Meanwhile, ambitious Pulitzer-winning journalist Amy Archer goes undercover as Norville's secretary so she can document his rise to prominence and Hudsucker's descent. However, there's a reason Norville was voted most likely to succeed by his classmates. His invention of the hula hoop turns the company's fortunes, much to Sid's chagrin. Meanwhile, Amy, who was initially dubious of Norville's intelligence, begins to fall for him and he for her. But as the company's financial successes continue, Norville becomes increasingly full of himself, prompting her to leave him. Worse, he becomes hostile toward the lower-level employees who always wished him well, particularly Buzz, Hudsucker's elevator operator who finds himself out of a job after he optimistically pitches a new invention, the Buzz Sucker, which is just a bendy straw, to Norville, who angrily fires him. Unbeknownst to Norville, Musburger, desperate to ostracize the overachieving president, convinces Buzz that Norville stole the idea for the hula hoop from him, and after Musburger discovers Amy is a member of the press, he has his justification to remove the president completely. Despondent, Norville climbs to Hudsucker's 44th floor seconds before the new year and contemplates jumping. Despite rethinking this, he is locked outside of the building by the company's janitor Aloysius, who is evil for some reason. Norville loses his grip on the ledge of the building and falls, closer to his grisly end each second. At the last moment, he is saved when Moses, the movie's archetypical magical Negro narrator, who seemingly watches over Hudsucker Industries, specifically its clock tower, jams the gears of the giant clock. While Norville floats a story above the ground, he is visited by the ghost of Waring Hudsucker, who asks him why he never delivered that blue envelope to Musburger. He prompts Norville to read the letter, which details Hudsucker's will to have the majority stock holdings transferred to the company's next president. As such, getting a second chance, Norville assumes control of Hudsucker Industries, rekindles his relationship with Amy, and Musburger ends up committed to a mental hospital following an unsuccessful suicide attempt. The film ends as Norville proudly presents his next invention to the board, a frisbee, for kids. In the end, some mild hilarity ensues.
Thank you, TJ.
Did I miss anything?
No, I think you got everything this time, yeah.
Any additions or subtractions?
No, I think you got it well, yes. You did well, yes. TJ, so what is your relationship to the Coen brothers or this movie?
Oh, man, I love the Coen brothers. I'm trying to think what the first movie of theirs I must have seen was. And it's weird because I don't think I could tell you. I've seen most of their movies. My favorite movie of all time, as I've said numerous times, I'm sure on here, is The Big Lebowski. There's just so much that resonates with me in that movie. I love the fact that it's like a noir, mystery story, which I'm a sucker for. That's told through the eyes of somebody who couldn't care less and just wants their rug back. I think that's hilarious. I can tell you that the first allusion to the Coen brothers that I remember hearing was in the Simpsons episode where they yell, "Barton Fink."
Barton Fink.
Yeah, and I have since seen that one. I think the world of the Coen brothers, they are probably my personal favorite directors of all time. And I just think that they have a lot of range. I like the fact that they can do drama, they can do comedy, they can really do whatever they want.
True.
Sam Raimi I also really like. Spider-Man, obviously, the trilogy came out during my formative teenage years, so that is near and dear to my heart. Later, I guess maybe mid-teen years, I discovered the Evil Dead movies, which I grew to really, really like. And his new Doctor Strange was pretty good. I've yet to see Darkman, though. That is on my
Darkman's
short
great.
list. I know.
You see Liam Neeson go crazy for 90 minutes.
Okay, I've seen a scene where he yells at like a carnival attendant.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do know that is on my short list. I don't know why I've never gotten around to it, but that one is there as well.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with the Coens and Raimi?
Well, let's see. Okay, so like you, I grew up watching the Spider-Man movies. Actually went one, I think you saw Spider-Man 2 on a sleepover where a kid told me that nobody wanted me there. I was invited just because they knew my parents.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was fun. So that's one experience with Sam Raimi I have. But I got more into Sam Raimi because of podcasts.
The first Spider-Man?
No, it's the second Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. If it was the first, you could have quoted Green Goblin and said, "Out am I?" And then you could have killed this kid with a pumpkin bomb.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, sorry. Go on, though.
No. Yeah. So I got more interested through Sam Raimi through podcasts because Blank Check did a whole series based on his movies, and of course you. Also, growing up, if you're somewhat interested in film, you feel like, what's the best cult movies of all time? You hear about The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And like, what's The Evil Dead about? And it's like, all I know is this crazy movie where crazy shit happens and blood comes out from everywhere and there's violence and swearing and nudity.
Plus, he's from right around the corner.
Plus, he's from Michigan,
Yeah.
Yeah. Coen Brothers, though, I don't know. I know of their style. Like I never really watched any of the movies. I think I've seen Blood Simple.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
That's a
great ambiance throughout the whole
movie.
movie. I have not seen. I think I watched The Lady Killers this one time.
Now that is one I have not watched.
I think I rented it one time growing up, but besides that, it's like that.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I've seen Oh Brother Without That. That's great. My mother hates it for some reason. I don't know.
Your brother or mother?
Mother. I don't know why. She's like, this is a stupid movie.
True
I'm
Grit?
like, why?
Oh.
No. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen a lot of the films. I've seen
Miller's Crossing. We reviewed that.
Miller's Crossing, which is amazing.
Yeah.
But they go together because they didn't really grow up with each other, but movie wise they did. I mean, they lived in a house with each other while they were making movies. Raimi and Coens worked together in let's see. Well, Raimi worked on Blood Simple for post production, and then the Coens helped with Crime Wave and The Evil Dead. Mm-hmm. So they worked together on that. Also, they lived together with Frances McDormand, who's married to Joel, I believe.
She's great.
Yeah, so they know each other forever, so they always help each other out. So that's why the movies are very similar in ways they're shot and everything like that. Sometimes,
Yeah,
they're really out there. They have weird dialogue. They've taken ideas from movies from the past and sped it up way faster and harder than anybody has ever done.
Yeah, they can do mainstream and still have their own flavor.
Yeah,
they can still retain a little bit of that auteur.
Yeah, the main thing is though, Sam Raimi went in a different direction. He's mostly stuck to horror or comics or stuff like that. And as the Coen Brothers, they do comedies and also dramas.
Right.
So yeah, that's the main difference. But mostly, I mean, I'm not going to say they're the same filmmaker. I think the Coen Brothers have a very different way of shooting as from Sam Raimi, where Sam Raimi is just I need you to shoot. I need you to shoot a camera like it's a bullet. Like I
Yeah.
need you to follow it while it's going through the air and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And people are going to tell him like we can't do that. And he's like, yeah, you can. And he's going to figure out a way to do it.
Watch me do it.
Watch me do it. Yeah.
No, I think you're still onto something though. They're gonna have different styles. That's any two directors
Yeah.
really, as long as they're not just studio TV directors, whatever. If they have any kind of that auteur bone in their body, they're gonna have different styles. I think what you're trying to say is, considering their similar ages, they were probably inspired by the same movies growing up.
Yeah, definitely,
you know?
especially this movie because they would. But we'll get into it when we get into the movie more.
Sure.
But yeah, I've definitely seen like I would compare these movies like live action cartoons. Like the movies, like whether it be the comedies or
Yeah.
even sometimes the dramas. I just like sometimes have some cartoonists to cartoon it, especially the comedies. They just have it's just like a live action cartoon.
Oh God.
But yeah, but just like yeah,
Evil Dead 2.
yeah.
I mean, especially Evil
Yeah,
Dead.
this
2 is
movie,
like a live-action cartoon.
Miller's Crossing has some cartooniness in it,
Sure.
even though it's a very serious movie about mob ties.
No, there's absolutely some slapstick. when
Yeah,
Albert Finney's
exactly.
beating him up down the stairs, and
Yeah,
oh gosh, there's absolutely some.
yeah.
Comedy
Like
element.
Sam Raimi. I know we're talking a lot about Raimi, even though this is a Coen Brothers films, and he helped write it, but he also did secondary directing for this.
I think his influence can still be seen, especially in the scenes of falling.
Yeah.
There's a couple scenes of point of view falling, and there's a couple scenes in the mailroom where a character's running really
Yeah, like
frantically,
everything's
and
going-
the camera's moving really frantically.
Exactly,
You
yeah.
can definitely tell there's a Raimi inspiration there.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, they they grew up in filmmaking together. They've known everything, so they basically help each other out through everything. And you have me telling this movie because this is okay. So let's get into the movie now. This is I quoted saying myself. I should say let's see if I have it. What did I think about this movie? Here you go. I think this is a Howard Hawks and Preston Sturges movie mixed with speed and the dust that the Mighty Mouse snorts.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what I think about
I
this
like
movie.
that. Okay.
This movie is definitely inspired by the 1940s comedies of Howard Hawks, Preston Sturges, and Frank Capra.
Yeah, sure.
It Happened One Night, or a miracle. What's the Christmas movie?
Miracle on 34th?
No, the other one. The
It's a Wonderful Life?
It's a Wonderful
Yeah,
Life.
yeah.
Frank Capra comedies
That's
of those times. Fast talking, fast paced. Joke a minute, and everything like that. And you can definitely see this throughout this movie.
Gosh, it's
basically all
absolutely-
that. Yeah, they came up with it. It actually wrote this in the '80s, and they wanted to do it with Paul Newman back then. But Paul Newman said he's not really a comedy guy, so they waited 10 years for them to
For him to become a comedy guy.
to him to be a comedy guy and also get them enough money because they needed more money to be able to do this. So yeah.
What have you seen Paul Newman in personally?
Personally, Paul Newman.
Because he's Hollywood royalty.
Yes.
Right.
I watched the movie called like The Long Summer.
Okay.
I watched some of that.
Good dressing, too.
And Slapshot. I think that's mostly it. I did see Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid.
That's a great movie.
I think I've only seen like 3 or maybe 4 of his movies.
And I only asked because I came to the realization that I think I've seen mostly things from him in his later years. Road to Perdition comes to mind.
Yeah.
He's the antagonist in that. He was in this. I have seen The Great Escape. Which is he in the Great? He's in the Great Escape.
Yeah,
right?
he
It
was
years
58.
ago. Yeah, I thought so. I
Yeah.
thought so. I just didn't want to misquote because then I had a.
Were you thinking of
panic there.
Escape from Alcatraz? I think that was Clint Eastwood.
No, that's Clint Eastwood. No,
Yeah.
I've seen The Great Escape, and I remember thinking it was damn good. And the only thing that's kept me from going back to it is it's like 3-hour runtime.
Yeah.
But I think that I would definitely appreciate it way more now.
Yeah.
The Sting is on my short list.
Never seen The
The
Sting.
Sting
but...
2 is not. So maybe I'll pick The Sting for my next season, and you'll pick some fucking gobbledygook.
Yeah. And I'll pick the sequels to those movies that nobody
Turkish
wanted.
animated film or something.
Yeah.
I've never seen Cool Hand Luke, and I've always heard that's outstanding. I've seen Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. That's outstanding.
That is outstanding. Yeah.
No, I was just curious because, like I said, he is Hollywood royalty.
Yeah. I mean, Cat on Hot Tin Roof.
The Color of Money.
Color of Money, thousands of great. Like I was trying to find like a bad film he was in, and generally
He's a
speaking, he
hustler.
was never in like a really bad film. Like always try to find films that like are kind of embarrassing to be in.
Was he in Cars 2? I know he was.
He
in
was in
one.
Cars too, yes, but that was I think that's after he passed away. That was they used recordings of his voice.
Okay.
Yeah, I should have used Cars too, but I thought Twilight would be funnier. So
No, it's okay. I like it.
yeah,
I like
that's
it.
true. Yes, he was what's his name? Hudson Pellet or something like that? Hudson
Yeah,
Piston,
I
something
think
like
you're
that.
right.
Yeah. something like that.
Something like
Doc
that.
Piston, I think that was his name.
Okay.
But Paul Newman is a stereotypical like Hollywood guy. Like you think Hollywood stars back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, you think Paul Newman. You think what a Hollywood star should look like, you think Paul Newman.
Definitely.
Still, yeah. So
definitely, he's got that old school Hollywood look.
Yeah.
Definitely. But no, I was just curious because he's got a lot of classics I've always wanted to see and that are highly regarded.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, what first struck you in this movie?
I love the Art Deco style. It was really great. I love the great miniatures. If you tell everything was miniatures, all in New York or wherever that place was supposed to be. It was great. It had a great atmosphere. It was just like, not really sunshine, not really happiness. It's more of a darkness.
No, and it should be said that aside from not being explicitly stated, this is for all intents and purposes a Christmas or winter or New Year's.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie, kind of.
Yeah.
There's no mention of the holiday, but it's December, and the New Year is like a big inflection point, right?
Yeah.
It's like a big recurring
I go to this club. It's called Club 44. They do a poetry slam night every New Year's Eve.
Yep. There you go.
Sorry, I didn't say that right. Go to this club, Club 44. They have a poetry night every night. They have a carrot juice and a oolong tea every night.
And 44 seemed to be a motif too, didn't it?
It did?
44 floors that wearing Hudsucker jumped down.
Not 45.
No, they allude to 45 at the end. We'll get to that, I suppose, though. But I guess the first thing that stuck out to me was obviously the visuals. But, every movie you kind of have this feeling out process, especially in my world, the Coen Brothers movie, because they have so many different tones that the movies take. Blood Simple is so dripping in neo-noirness, 80s neo-noirness, and, 310 to Yuma, not 310 to Yuma, True Grit is just pretty straight Western, right? Drama. So there's always a feeling out process. And it becomes pretty clear, first of all, that this movie's going to be gorgeous looking. Yeah. It's going to be absolutely breathtaking. And our first, character interaction is Norville Barnes, Tim Robbins' character, who's fresh-faced,
Was that before? Smiling. I thought Hudsucker was first, wasn't he? And then
maybe he was, but not.
True. That's true.
Because remember, he's at that
That's true. There's at the meeting, and then we meet Tim Robbins' character first, and he's just he's staring at a employment
job
board.
Postings, And they all require experience.
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of a universal thing. I guess I always thought that was a more modern problem. Was hey, I just got a degree. Great, go get 5 years experience at a shithole. Yeah. That's gonna work you to death. A certain place we've worked at before, certain couple places we've worked before. It's going to work you to death, but at least you'll have some time, something to put on your resume, and then you can get the more, stable job. But, if this movie's to believe, that's always been a thing. But anyway, he gets this job in the mailroom, which looks dingy. Yeah. It looks disgusting. It looks rusty. I will say, I am always impressed, though, when you've got that many moving pieces on a set.
Well, we first start out, we see Hudsucker in the boardroom, and the one guy's talking about every success they're having right now and everything, and we're just watching him. He sets down a clock for a minute, and it cuts between Tim Robinson and him. And then when Tim Robinson, I believe, finally walks into the Hudsucker building, that's when Hudsucker jumps out of the building.
He didn't already have the blue envelope? Oh,
no.
You might be right about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, put it succinctly. It's like a juxtaposition between the people on the top floor who are all dressed in nice suits and they're sitting around this boardroom table discussing, just glazing themselves about all the
so basically it's
success.
The beginning and the end. We have Tim Robinson's character's beginning and then Hudsucker's end. So that's when the show's this is the start of a new.
Yeah, true, and they're at polar opposites.
One's the start of a new, the end of the old.
One's on the top floor, one's on the bottom floor, hoping to work his way up.
Yeah, and one's already at the top floor, but has had enough, and
I love that too, because there was no reading it on his face. He just said, "I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go jump out."
He just fucking jumped out a window full force.
It was metal.
Yeah,
it was brutal. So I was. That's when I started to wonder, during that feeling out process. What movie? Who is this for? This movie?
Okay, so I think. Okay, so we'll get into Roger Ebert review later on, but he does have somewhat of a point about this movie. So the main thing, I think, he just has a. I call it the. who directed Lost Boys and Batman Returns?
Joel Schumacher.
Schumacher problem.
Yeah.
A lot of style, not a lot of substance. So these characters.
Yes, go on.
I mean, they all very stereotypes of everything. But the plucky go-getter. You had the fast-talking reporter from the 1940s, and you have the evil boss. And that's mostly just stereotypes of very characteristics we think throughout films through history.
The newspaper editor,
stuff like that. We don't really form connections or heart with these people at all.
Correct.
So it's basically just like we're basically just watching constant gags over and over again until we get to the very end.
Do they work for you? The gags.
The gags, yes, they work for me because they're funny. Because they're, like I said, it's a cartoon. This is live action. So
yeah, it's funny you call it the Joel Schumacher effect. I've always called it the Drop Dead Fred effect.
Really?
Where that movie was rated. I don't even know what this was rated. I would guess PG-13.
I think it was PG.
PG, okay. Even though
it was a kids movie.
Okay, fine. It's 94. That's why I question though, because the guy literally jumps out the window to his death. They don't show the body splat. You hear it hit, and you see people's reaction to it though. So I remember.
This movie I thought you meant Drop Dead Fred. I was
like, no. Drop Dead Fred is rated PG-13.
Oh.
And it's a movie about a girl's imaginary friend.
Yeah.
But it's clearly. It just doesn't know whether it wants to be a kid's movie or an adult's movie.
Yeah.
And to me, sometimes you walk that tightrope, and it's very hard to do, and the movie's not successful. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm getting at. This movie, I went into it assuming it would be. I didn't know really anything about it except the premise, which I love the premise about a stock scheme. I think that's interesting stuff. With taking this naive kid and trying to make him a patsy. I think that's an interesting premise. I went into it assuming this would be like a Fargo-esque, maybe not R-rated, but like a I didn't
adult
realize
comedy.
It was I didn't realize it was
the satire of the I don't know business world.
Right, and that's the thing that leads
that related to back then
to
and now.
Ask who was this for, because like the business types are so cartoonishly over the top evil.
Yeah.
This Hudsucker jumps to his death. They all look out the window. Then they turn around and say, "Well, this is really going to affect our bottom line," and they just keep going on with their meetings.
The one guy who's crying.
The one guy cries, and then he tries to do the same thing later.
Yeah,
but they
and it gets like it's like a fly, just like. Whoosh.
And that was funny.
Yeah,
but again, it's just tonally. Like, is a kid going to be interested and going to be able to follow this stock scheme?
No,
probably not.
No, it's not meant for kids. I thought Dead was meant for kids. That's why I said that.
But there is a lot of slapstick that I feel like that's like the whole like through line is for kids.
Yeah, for kids.
The whole slogan throughout the movie.
I mean, they basically made this movie just for fun because they watched like all these Howard Hawk movies and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Like, what's the first thing they see is just they're having fun, and they're just having fun on the set. They go it's fast speaking gags a second. It's just fun, and they wanted to make that, and so they did. I mean, it doesn't really have the dark sense of humor that a lot of the other films have that they made, like The Big Lebowski or Barton Fink or.
It has dark humor, like the boardroom meeting continuing after the president just killed himself. It has the seeds of dark humor. I just don't think that it's effectively implemented.
Yeah, basically we just have stereotypes, and they're implementing the stereotypes well in like. What would happen in like 1940 movies.
These stereotypes are performed by very good actors.
Yes.
And the script is admittedly very tight at certain times. When you've got that old-timey newspaper editor talk. It's very well written.
Yeah.
I watched it with subtitles specifically so I could try and like pick up everything, because there is a lot of like, that old-timey speak that actually is very well written.
Yeah.
I don't know if it translates too well to a kid's audience or a family audience, and clearly.
Well, I don't think it was supposed to. So yeah.
Well, like you said, I think you're onto something when you said they made it for fun.
Yeah.
The truth of the matter is, auteur directors' passion projects aren't typically going to make mainstream dollars.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Well, it was really a 1940s film released in 1994. Was that going to be a huge hit? I mean,
some company thought to bankroll it.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers, actually.
Yeah.
But they also let Aquaman 2 out, so
yeah,
they're not the best judge of character.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's go through the characters, because we have Tim Robbins' character.
Yes,
he's just a sap who's just trying to he's just trying to move up the corporate ladder, and he finally gets one shot because he has to deliver the blue letter, which I kind of knew from the beginning was going to be like the what's the word?
Chekhov's gun.
Chekhov's gun. Like once you introduce it in the first half, you gotta do
Yeah,
the
he
second
gets this blue letter from his boss, and everybody freaks out. The blue envelope or blue letter is,
which is
always
also a
bad
great
news.
scene because you see them all running and hiding, and you see this one guy just running down the hallway, and it gets closer and closer.
Yeah. That is a good shot. But
Yeah.
the implication is that whoever is the messenger of the bad news carried in the blue envelope is, the messenger gets shot, right? The messenger is fired. But he ends up taking the letter up, and before he can even deliver it, he's figured to be a rube and given this job.
Yeah.
Herein lies one of my first problems, though. I'm sure they're trying to comment on the difference between book smarts and actual business acumen here.
Yeah.
I don't know if it translated the best, but I'm sure that that's what they're getting at, because he really does get play. Tim Robbins plays the character as if he is a naive, somewhat
I feel like Tim
fumbling
Robinson's.
fool.
I think his best characters are always the dumb characters, like no matter what. Like when we watched him in
Bob
Roberts, he was also a cartoonish character, but he wasn't like an idiot. Like he wasn't.
See, I'm gonna respectfully disagree. No, I'm gonna disrespectfully disagree with you, fuckhead.
Okay.
Actually, you fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I think that his performance in Bob Roberts is actually more of what I was looking for in this. Before I knew what it was.
So you wanted him to be like pompous in the beginning and not become pompous towards the end.
Not
of the film.
necessarily. In this one, he plays, aw shucks,
Yeah.
so to death that but he also says that he was voted most likely to succeed by his classmates, and he was like,
but people think like it's Muncie, Indiana.
summa cum laude, and so.
But if you're in New York, you think like, oh, you're from Muncie, Indiana. I mean, that's
Sure,
not
sure. He's got a
even if you're the
simple
top
genius to him.
class of anything, you're from fucking Muncie, Indiana.
Correct.
You're probably still shit. So if you're
Here's
top
my
of shit,
point,
you're
though,
shit.
without showing my hand too much, though, is that when he breaks bad in this, when he turns heel, so to speak, it's such an abrupt heel turn. Whereas in Bob Roberts, I saw him play both genial and devious.
Okay, so you can't say it wasn't like earned. You didn't. It's just
It was like Anakin
like that. It
Skywalker
was
in
like
Star
that.
Wars 3,
Yeah.
when he's just like, "Oh my God, what have I done?"
Yeah.
And Palpatine says, "I need you to go kill the kids," and he goes,
Yeah.
It was
I understand
so abrupt.
that. Yeah, so abrupt. It wasn't really earned. Like, he really like.
That was
well, there
my
was
view.
the montage sequence of him partying and stuff like that. But it
Yeah,
was,
I
like,
know, but sometimes I need more than a montage. And maybe
Yeah.
this is just maybe personal preference. We'll get to it when we get to reviews.
Yeah.
This is far and away better than any movie I've ever made.
That's
I'm
true.
not
I mean,
trying to knock this.
I mean, everything was rust, but I guess that's what it was going for. Because, I've watched. Well, this is obviously main example. Like this movie's main inspiration is kind of Go Friday, Disco Friday. Like, especially the fast talking reporter and stuff like that. And I watched Disco Friday, and it's kind of a sad movie. It's about a girl. It's funny, it's about a fast-talking girl and an editor her ex-husband, but the girl wants to marry someone else, but the ex-husband gives a pointer into the life of the journalism and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the movie ends, it's just like, they're not going to be happy, because they get back together, but you realize, like, this is just going to continue. He's just going to use her for journalism, and they're not going to be, like, one happy family.
Sure.
It just continues on, like, no matter what. Like, he wins her back, but I didn't really feel happy that he won it back, because it's going to continue on. Like, the same process. It's going to happen again. They're going to just do a lot of reporting, fight a lot. Like, I don't think they're going to end up together, but...
That's how I feel about the end of Rear Window.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sure it's supposed to be a happy ending, but my jaded little heart is like, oh, he's going to still mistreat her.
Yeah.
He's still not going to value her.
Yeah, because, like, if you see Disco Friday, like, the guy who cares about her, the one he wants to marry, he's just keeping getting passed off because she keeps on going back to her old ways. And then... And it's just, she goes back. That's it. So it's just going to happen again. So, yeah, it's just like, so I think it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't even know what point I was trying to make. I forgot. But
no, I think that they're almost trying to put too much character study or study into this living, breathing cartoon.
Yeah.
It almost struggles to find an identity in my book.
Yeah, because they're basically just doing a rip-off of, not a rip-off, they're trying to rip off movies from the 1940s and comedies of the 1940s and 30s and stuff like that. Especially with Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, who is Disco Friday.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to build on something you said here. Watch this. This is a pro gamer move.
Okay.
I'm going to build on your Joel Schumacher analogy or talk earlier. That I think I'm not a big fan of his Batman movies, but I will say, while it's objectively the worst of the two, the one with George Clooney, Batman and Robin, I prefer to watch because it's so bad that it can be good at parts.
True.
But that movie struggles because that one's often considered, he was just going for a live-action cartoon. Bullshit. There are also really, really lagging moments of drama between him and Alfred, who is sick and dying, or him and his girlfriend that wants him to settle down and marry, that just come out of nowhere. And oh my gosh, there was a great quote from like a YouTube video or something, or some commenter online who's probably going to die anonymous, but has given us this great quote that says, whereas maybe it was a Letterboxd review. Anyway, most dramas have, comic relief, right, to break up the tension.
Yeah.
Batman and Robin has drama relief to break up the comedy.
Yeah.
And it's so true. Like, sometimes you just have to commit to one thing. Not always.
Yeah.
Not always. A good filmmaker can make it work. But all I'm getting at is I think this movie almost suffers from that kind of...
Yeah, I understand. They're trying to insert like a love story or something, or
I think
some words of meaning of like anti-capitalism and stuff like that.
There's no way we're going to rally against Norville, against Tim Robbins' character. Especially in part because they've made Paul Newman so one-dimensionally evil, right? Mm-hmm. And he's not even evil. He's just a super shrewd bit. That's obviously, he's a businessman. That's the whole moral, is that when you're that high up in the skyscraper, you're that far detached from the people actually doing the grunt work. Yeah. And they're objects to you. Yeah. And I do think that there is plenty of storytelling to be mined from, him losing touch with that humanity and firing Buzz and being mean to his subordinates. I just don't think there's enough time with the Norville character to let it breathe.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
He's not in it that much.
Yeah, we watched through everything. We watched through the love story of Jennifer Jason Leigh, who was amazing in it.
She's great.
She's great. She gave a great Disco Friday performance.
Yeah.
So, his Go Friday performance, she's a fast-talking wit. She's just like... Every scene she's in with a cut of
John Mahoney and Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell was
great. Talk about
a
triad. A triad. They're talking about a trio of actors that I'm fine with watching together.
Yeah, but she just falls in love suddenly with Norville because, I don't know, he said like a few kind words to her and it's just like, in love. Which is, I guess you can say, is definitely like the old films of the 1940s and 30s because it's just like... Really, you just hang out one night and they fall in love and they get married. That
to be fair, I liked his characterization in those moments where, he reads the article that she wrote about him and he doesn't realize she wrote it. And he says, "Oh, what does this lady know about me?" And he asks her to write down a letter to the to the author of the article. And before she can send it, he goes, "You know what? She's just doing her job. I got it out of my system. Thanks for letting me vent." And there was a real charm to that. Yeah. But that's the thing. I can't believe it then when he 180s and he's firing Buzz and telling him, get the hell out of my office. This idea is stupid, and that I just didn't buy, I guess.
Yeah, but, understandable. Yeah.
No, it's not for lack of any of these actors' performances. I will say right now, they are all committed to their roles. Mm-hmm. The guy, really, they're all committed to their roles. They're all a pleasure to watch. I just don't. I don't know. I didn't buy the Tim Robbins heel turn. Just can't do it.
Understandable.
It's too likable for much of the movie.
That's definitely, yeah. But the gag, as you're saying, this sticks to one thing. Well, the gags in it though are great. I compare this when we watched Wild at Heart. We were sickos because we liked it because it was so weird and out there. Mm. This is kind of like that. We like it because it's goofy and insane. You get weird angles, camera zooming, going fast everywhere. You see hula hoops going crazy. When the hula hoops, I'm missing Raimi directed this part. When you see the hula hoops being made, and you see, that was great.
When the scene with the kid,
the one hula hoop just goes down the street, and the kid picks it up and just starts doing hula hoop tricks. Mm-hmm. He's just like, how does he even know what it is? He's just he's doing it, and then we're off to the races, and then everything goes off successful.
Yeah, I like it. The toy store owners desperately keep slapping a new price sticker on to try and sell them, and then when it becomes popular, his hand fast motion removes them all. Stuff like that is charming. It's just, again, I think that it clashes too much with the drama they're trying to sell. I'd almost rather you just strip the drama away.
Yeah, just make it a
pure comedy. Or at least the character drama, we don't need that.
So what do you think about the ending of that? Because, let's say that in the synopsis, you're talking about the guy who places the letterings on the door, and also the clock master.
Yeah. So Hudsucker Industry has seemingly a guardian angel, and then also a devil or something.
Yeah, played by Bill Duke, I believe his name is. I believe that's
Bill Cobb.
Bill Cobb. That's right. That was the thing.
He's been in a shitload of things.
Yeah, Bill Cobb. R.I.P. He died this year, I believe.
Yeah, he did actually. It was pretty recent.
He was great in it, but he was the guy who knows everything.
Yeah, he's the narrator. He's kind of I thought he'd be more important overall because he's kind of disjointed from this. He does the opening monologue.
Yeah.
In like a whimsical like narrator voice.
Yeah.
Which I don't mean to say was like what I imagine Song of the South's narration might have been, but like it's definitely in a folksy. Remember earlier I said the magical Negro?
Yeah.
That's the famous archtype, right? In old
Yeah,
school
old
Hollywood.
man. Yeah.
That's more or less
Who
what I
has
think
wisdom,
he was.
and then like.
And then Aloysius the janitor is just inexplicably evil.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I want to sound like he was just a guy replacing that. It's just like, nope, like you gotta die now. It's just like
because you don't see either of them enough. Like,
Yeah.
it's implied enough what their roles like rhetorically are. One is like the clock tower, the guardian angel in the clock tower who knows all about the company and its history.
Yeah.
And the other is just more or less mute janitor who's on the side of the executives. And there's really no like drama that's actually mined from that. Like you could have maybe if you're trying to show why this janitor was misaligned with, if you want to really help your own interests, you don't align with the executives when you're the janitor, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you explore that a little more.
Well, maybe he doesn't align with the executives. I think he just wants them dead, so that's why he tried to continue the death.
Maybe it is funny when you see him scraping
the
last
name,
president's name off the window, and so he can write the new ones on there. But there's like this unspoken conflict until the very end. So again, it doesn't feel very earned.
Yeah.
But you have Bill Cobb's character, his name is Moses, and he watches the clock. It's got this Hudsucker Tower's got industry has this great tower, this great skyscraper with a cool ass clock tower. I love Paul Newman's office, by the way, where you see part of the clock in the background of it. Anyway, he kind of he catches Amy, Jennifer Jason Leigh's character, spying on Paul Newman's character and fills her in on the plot that, hey, they're trying to stick Tim Norville with the blame for this stock crash.
He's an imbecile.
Right, he's an imbecile, exactly. I just don't think the character was shown or heard. If you had a couple extra scenes of him, so you could have delivered exposition with him voiceover between scenes, right? Like transitionary scenes. Then you have more of it's not as jolting when he comes out of nowhere and you're like, oh, that's the guy from the beginning again.
Yeah.
Because like they make the fight scene. Yes, Bill Cobbs literally fights Aloysius the janitor at the end of this movie, when I guess
I didn't see that coming. I'm like, why is Jana why is he how does he know also that when the clock stops he can stop time? So
again, it's the magical aspect of it. I don't know, and I don't even have a problem with the magic nature of it.
Me neither.
Again, I don't think that there was enough of this janitor and clock watcher characters for me to think, oh my god, who's gonna win this? Or I was more like, why are they fighting?
Yeah.
I didn't really catch that the janitor was evil until he locked Tim Robbins out on the balcony or out on the ledge. I don't know. Again, it's something that's interesting in theory. I just think in practice it didn't get enough
time to air out and stuff.
Pretty much.
But yeah, that's kind of the main problems of the movie. It's fast. It's always fast. You always go fast and
too fast for its own good.
And it's too fast for its own good, and then you have to skip past all the heart and stuff like that and soul, and then you got to keep on going with the gags. And
let me say, I respect the hell out of the style of this movie.
True,
I really do. It's a very well produced movie, and there is a lot to like about it.
Yeah, the art style,
especially
clothing,
the art style, the attention to detail of sets, which is obvious. That's a huge Coen Brothers and Sam Raimi staple. Any great director, but everything looks lived in. Yeah, effectively. I love when you see the rows of accountants. Yeah. It just looks so sterile. Mm-hmm. Or the rows of newspaper writers. It just looks so... I don't know. It just looks so grand.
True.
Before jobs like those became more automated and, you had to reshape how, the job market.
Well, everything is really grand in this movie. I mean, the office is all big, no matter what. Even at the lower jobs, you're in a giant room. The lonely lower jobs, you're in a big room, a lot of people. It's grand that way. And then the offices are all big also. Just so this is also
bustling.
Everything's bustling, and everything's fast. And the elevator man is hilarious.
Buzz, yeah,
Bugs.
Buzz has my favorite joke in the whole movie, and he goes. It says right after the president jumps out the window and kills himself at the beginning. He goes. How do you know when the sidewalk is well dressed? When it's wearing Hudsucker. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was very funny.
Yeah, just keeping constant one-liners every time, and just like
Yeah.
it's weird that he became one of the main parts of the movie, like towards the end.
They could have trashed that whole bit about not him getting fired. If you want to show Norville as a bad guy, you can keep the firing scene. But there's this weird. Okay, this is another issue I had because the justification that Sidney Musburger, Paul Newman's character, finds to fire Norville as president is that, you let your secretary, Jennifer Jason Leigh, she's an undercover reporter who keeps writing about our company.
Yeah.
That is justification to fire you. But simultaneously, I guess maybe to hedge his bets beforehand, he found Buzz, the elevator operator that Norville fired, and convinced Buzz that Buzz came up with the idea of the hula hoop
so that
and
way
Norville fired him?
Maybe that way they can, I don't know, maybe that's actually the way he can fire him, and then...
I guess they're trying to joke that Buzz is that stupid that he thinks that he gets convinced that he invented something.
Yeah.
But you didn't need any of that.
No, you didn't.
All you needed was him to get fired, and you've effectively proven, okay, Norville has turned against the common man. Mm-hmm. He's become no better than any of the executives that mistreated him in the beginning or continue to mistreat his mailroom associates from the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
No, I thought that whole bit you could have just removed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. We've got some Coen brother regulars making cameo appearances.
Yeah, we got Mike Starr.
You got Mike
He's
Starr.
in there.
You've got John Polito as the guy. You know who I'm talking about. He was in Miller's Crossing. He's in a lot of Coen Brothers movies. He was only.
Oh, really?
He was the guy that was waiting for. Paul Newman in the beginning. You just see him for one scene.
Yeah. And then the contract flies out the window, and then the whole scene is just one giant, this like Three Stooges bit where he's trying to shut out the fire, and
yeah. And again, I thought it was funny, but it kind of went on too long for my taste. But yeah, he's trying to put out the fire, and sure enough, he's got the firing garbage can on his foot. You've also got Steve Buscemi as the barista, I suppose, at that Beatnik bar.
Yeah.
And then you've got John Goodman as he's
the narrator for the newsreel. Yeah.
Correct. Mm-hmm. Correct. Yes.
I also believe I think he's the old man from The Wedding Singer when he's drunk at a bar at the very end. You know the guy who was talking to in the mailroom?
Oh, he may have
been there for 48 years?
Yeah, he may have been, actually.
Mm-hmm.
In addition to the banter time, you know what else I watched?
What?
M from 1931.
Oh, yeah.
Fritz Lang.
That's cool.
I just wanted to throw that in there because it makes me sound smart.
That's cool.
Damn good movie, though. Peter Lorre, very good. True. Anyway, though, back to what we're actually talking about. I would say that the anti-capitalist themes were a little on the nose, but appropriate for, the reason I brought up M was Fritz Lang had kind of those themes in his movies, too, and according to this deep dive research I'm doing, that was an inspiration for this movie.
Well, the main thing was circles, everything involved in the circles. So that was the main thing. It would be the clock tower or his hula hoops,
frisbee.
Everything. Well, especially the whole movie. The whole movie is a giant circle too.
Yes.
We start at the end, and then we begin, and then we go all the way back around, and then we begin again at the end.
See, now I like that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I eat that kind of shit up. That's good. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Everything goes in circles. Start of the movie, we have the end of one guy and the beginning of another story.
Correct.
Yeah. So everything just keeps on going around.
And then at the very end, Bill Cobbs is narrating the outro, and he goes, that was the man that jumped from the 44th floor and survived, but not the 45th. That's a story for another day. Or he said something like that. And so it's almost like he's starting another story.
Yeah.
Another circle. Which two circles next to each other make the infinity sign. So you can read into this shit.
Exactly.
I could read into this all night. But no, there's a lot to like about this movie.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I kind of want to just get into my final thoughts just so I can get that out.
Yeah. I don't know. I just want to talk about. I don't think we talked about Jennifer Jason Leigh's character. Okay. We did say she was great in it.
She is.
I wish she was in the movie more because she's just in it very little. Just has her quick lines and that's it. She's gone. So
she's probably my favorite character.
Yeah. If she was in the that's the main part. If people were just in this movie more and had a better connection to the character and showed better emotions, then maybe we can connect with Tim Roth's characters more, and we can feel it more when he turns his back on society, and then when he finally regains it, it becomes better. We didn't really talk about the angel, Mr. Hudsucker himself, when he becomes an angel.
Yeah, I know he is indeed an angel, and when Norville is frozen in time, about to meet his death, he's visited by the angel of Hudsucker, who I thought was going to tell him something like life is too short to spend it in a boardroom, but instead he just said, "Hey, silly, read that note."
Yeah.
So again, it was something I thought maybe we'd get something a little more It's a Wonderful Life. There is definitely some It's a Wonderful Life in there.
About
that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as profound as I thought it would be.
I did like the costume design though. That was great.
Oh, sure, he looked great.
You see, he looks like an angel from like a after school special with a halo and everything.
Oh yeah,
just, like,
absolutely.
coming down. Yeah, that was great. I feel like he also had like a string. You could see the string coming from his thing and is like
to the halo,
to the halo,
and
also to him flying.
Whatever that.
I don't remember, but
that adds to the charm.
Yeah, that's the charm. Right?
He looked like there's a really bizarre Twilight Zone with Carol Burnett called Cavender is Coming, when she's got a guardian angel who's like a fat cigar smoking man.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what he reminded me of. Just a fat cigar smoking man in an angel outfit. See, I know I talk more about the individual characters, but they are a little bit one note.
Yeah.
I love John Mahoney. I'm a big Frasier guy.
Who wasn't?
But, well, people who've only seen the new ones, maybe.
Oh, yeah, true.
But John Mahoney's fun to watch deliver that old-timey fast talk, but, like, that's all he is.
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell, as much as we love Bruce Campbell, he's kind of like, he's not a rival reporter, is he?
No, he's just...
He's a fellow reporter.
He's the Cary Grant of the His Go Friday. He's supposed to be like the rough, tough reporter who's friends with the high shot reporter. Okay, and supposed to be like the real love interest, but then she finds someone else.
Yeah, and I know why he's there, obviously, and I'm happy he's there.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't have been mad if he did maybe have more of an antagonistic role with Jennifer Jason Leigh, but maybe that's not the point. Maybe the point's just for him to be kind of a prop. That's the thing, though. At the end of the day, him and John Mahoney characters are just like props, kind of.
Yeah.
Which can be... No, I guess it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just subverted my expectations, I guess.
That's true. Okay, well, I guess we can get on to your final thoughts now.
I'd talk more about it, but it's just... I feel like I'm showing my hand regardless, and... it's not like final thoughts have to bar us from talking about the movie more.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I mean, do you want to do yours first? Or
no, you do you first.
All right. So, like I said, I'm a big Coen Brothers fan. You tell me this is Coen Brothers, I'm already in for the most part. You tell me Sam Raimi too? Definitely. Bruce Campbell? Yeah. Take my money. Tim Robbins I like, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Paul Newman, and John Mahoney. Why did I wait so long to see this movie? After I've seen it, my initial thought was, I enjoyed that. That was not a bad movie.
Mm-hmm.
But when I compare it to the rest of these filmmakers' resumes, it's going to rank well toward the bottom.
Yeah.
I hate to say it because, like I said, I enjoyed it. I would watch it again for free, especially around Christmas time, probably. Probably years from now. Some movies I rewatch pretty much yearly. Mm-hmm. I don't think this will be one of them. In no world do I keep this on the same shelf as No Country for Old Men, Lebowski, Miller's Crossing, Evil Dead.
Raising Arizona, even.
Yeah. See, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about this movie. It's gorgeous looking. It gives, the aesthetics, the art deco or whatever you want to call it, gives it that Christmas film look, which I'm a big fan of.
Yeah.
It's got a tight script.
Also coldness and good also.
Yeah, oh gosh, it's a cozy type of movie where, you watch this during the winter, right?
Yeah.
That's when it's most appropriate.
True, when it's cold and depressing and sad.
Yeah, absolutely. But ultimately, I think Tim Robbins' aw shucks aura can only take the movie so far, and when he does turn heel, so to speak, I did think it was too abrupt. I thought the characters were unfortunately very one note. So if you said earlier that Ebert said it was more style than substance, I'm afraid I have to agree with that. This ranking that I give it is, it might sound harsh. Again, don't put any stock into these rankings at all. I try and find anything to love about any movie except for Night at the Magic Castle. I'll give this 3 out of 6. Again, it was mid at the end of the day. I guess I'd call it mid. A lot to like, a lot that I wish I'd seen more of. Hardly an offensive movie, and it's definitely worth checking out one winter for free on Tubi.
Yeah, definitely.
Enjoy it.
True.
Sit through some ads. You'll have a couple laughs, and then you can say, "Hey, I've seen it."
All right. So I think about this movie kind of like watching The Simpsons. Some people watch The Simpsons just for the jokes, and some people watch it just also with the heart, especially like early Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is also like when we watched Wild at Heart. We liked it because it was weird and it was sickos, because we were like watching all this weird stuff happen. But we kind of did agree with Ebert being like, there's not really much to the story, you know. There's some weird stuff and there's some great weird characters and stuff. Maybe we didn't really do a deep dive into like the surroundings of it and everything like that. Maybe we have to watch it again. Wow, that heart. Maybe I will see if
Probably
I change my mind.
Yeah.
But I feel like for this movie, I feel like I'm watching The Simpsons for the jokes. You know, I'm watching it for the gags, for the fast talking reporter who keeps on calling him an imbecile and making him look like a fool every 5 seconds, and has great quips and everything like that. And also watching it for the gags of, you see Tim Robinson's in Paul Newman's office trying to put out a fire, but he's failing and just throws it out the window. You see it for Buzz, who just keeps on making one-liners and everything like that.
Oh my god, he's so manic.
Yeah, he's so manic. I just see the manicness of this movie, and I love it. It's funny. It's like I said. It's like I'm watching. And I love 1940s and 30s comedies. I love those, but it's just even more with cartoons in it. So it's just like, it's great. It fits my taste perfectly, actually. Sure. So I really like this movie. I do agree with you that, you know, we didn't really like. The main problem of this movie is that we don't really know the characters that well because they're just stereotypes of characteristics in the 1940s and 30s, as we said multiple times. But yeah, so I didn't really connect with the characters. You know, like when the big ending happened, I really feel a connection with it. Even though I know it is supposed to be out of nowhere. Of the Bill Cobb just stops time and everything like that. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just like, I don't know. I just didn't really. I was just like, what is this? Like, how come he's just doing this now? How come the doorman wants him to die? Like, I don't.
Yeah, there was no fantasy.
No fantasy. We didn't see.
We
didn't see the guy, the janitor, just like be evil, or like give evil looks or something, or anything like that. You know, I wish Bill Cobb was in this movie more. Maybe he interacts with the main character, or like the female reporter more, or Jennifer Jason Leigh more, I should say. So, but we didn't really see that. So it's just kind of just like, I don't know. We have this ending now because, you know, we like Magnolia. Magnolia is a weird ending. It's just literally frogs rain from the sky. So, but you know, but it kind of did work. It felt something a little bit maybe, but
I don't. It's tough to talk about because like a lot of Coen Brothers movies, a lot of movies that I just love. You know, I can talk about them, but sometimes a movie just clicks with you.
Yeah.
This one never fully clicked with me.
Yeah, I got into it, but I didn't think it was like the best movie.
I appreciated it from afar. It was like looking at like a piece of pop art. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I admire that. That looks really nice aesthetically. On to the next.
Yeah.
I had a weird urge to watch Who Framed Roger Rabbit after.
Ooh. I want to try to watch Thief and the Cobbler, the guy who made Who Raised Roger Rabbit.
Watch that.
Yeah, not the Miramax version, which was shit.
No,
the
recobbling.
Yeah,
the recobbling. Yeah.
Yes, that's what they call it. Yeah.
That we could do a one-off.
Yeah, sure.
Put a pin in that.
True. Yeah, but you know, the art style is amazing. I mean, the writing's hilarious. You're not going to do wrong, and so is the direction. You're not going to do wrong with Sam Raimi directing your second unit, and you're not going to do wrong with the Coen Brothers directing main either. So
yeah,
I would give this movie a 4 out of 6 stars.
Right on.
That's what I feel.
Yeah, right on. Like I said, I kind of grade it on the Coen Brothers scale. Which,
this is not the best Coen Brothers movie of all time.
And frankly, a 3 out of 6, like that's not even bad. Like, really, is it?
Like I said, this like they said, they just did it for fun, and they just want to make a fun movie, and they did, and they did the job.
Movie, yeah. Now go watch Fargo.
Yeah, watch Fargo.
Is
watch
that their next one?
Yeah, 96. Yeah,
94 or 95. Yeah, 96.
96. Yeah, so that's Fargo.
That's funny.
And then watch Big Lebowski. You know, watch Raising Arizona. I don't know how funny Barton Fink is. I've never seen it, but
it's not terribly funny, but it's a good movie.
Definitely, yeah. But you know, this is like
John Mahoney's in that one too.
Yeah, this is like up there with the Intolerable Cruelty. You know, like one of those movies, like the lesser known movie. I mean, it's not The Lady Killers. The Lady Killers is like one of the worst films they made.
Yeah, that one's reputation, I'm sure.
But it's definitely on the lower tier of like Coen Brothers movies. Yeah, definitely. Like it's like the new stuff. You know, like the one movie where George Clooney, Hail Caesar. Like, it's up there with that, definitely. But okay, that's all opinions. What did Ebert think about this? It's time for Ebert time. Ebert time. Ebert time. Ebert time. Ebert time. Roger Ebert gave this 2 stars.
Okay.
I did love how he wrote the review, though. He wrote it like, you know, in those cartoons where there's a devil and an angel on your shoulder?
Yeah.
He wrote it like that. Like an angel is telling him something and the devil's writing him something, telling him something.
You mean Bill Cobb's on one shoulder?
Yes, Bill Cobb's on one and the janitor's on the other, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so to quote the the article. It said, the Angel says, "This is the best looking movie I've seen in years. A feast for the eyes and imagination. The art direction and the set design are breathtaking, recreating the world of the 1930s screwball comedies, in which towering skyscrapers and vast boardrooms were the playing fields of the ambition of for corrupt executives, ambitious kids, unsung geniuses, and lady newspaper reporters with nails as sharp as a wisecrack." But the devil says, but the problem with the movie is that it's all surface, no substance. Not even the slightest attempt is made. It's just the film makes its own story seriously. Everything is style, poems seem delivery, angled as satire. Yeah.
All right.
So then,
funny, yeah.
So then he goes on saying the debate goes on. Just before the vaporize into thin air, the Angel advised me to give Hudsucker Proxy 4 stars, and the devil whispering that the Coens are talented but needed to be parted to go beyond the technical mastery, which they advised to me to cut them off with 0. Having them weighed all their advice, I take the middle position. So in between 4 and 0, he takes 2. So
I think that's pretty much exactly how I ranked it. And I did not read his review beforehand.
No.
Wow, yeah, 3 out of 6.
Yeah.
All.
I like gags more. I also like sick shit more than Buzzer D, but so yeah.
I like the Friday the 13th movies much more than he
True,
did.
yeah. So Letterboxd, 3.7 stars. This is from Jamal Bowie. He's a reporter from the, I believe, Washington Post, but also does a money podcast. He did a podcast about political thrillers in the 1990s. Ooh. So that's actually interesting. He said Citizen Kane filtered through Animaniacs with a strong Tim Burton circa Batman vibe.
I did think of Tim Burton when I saw some of the city stuff. Yeah.
There are a lot of ideas about the banal inhumanity of capitalism and the absurdity of consumer culture that don't really go anywhere. They don't. And, but that aside, it's funny, and Jennifer Jason Leigh is great in it, so is everybody else,
Yeah, she was.
My favorite review of this was he would have came up with the fidget spinner. 4 stars.
That's so true.
That's so true, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so not a lot of fun facts for this film. Paul Newman was opposed about it in 1984, but turned it down, and then because he didn't work in comedy that much, but then 10 years later, he took it. That's it. The rest is just like Clint Eastwood could have been played by this role. A lot of leading ladies were going up for Jennifer Jason Leigh's role. Tom Cruise was considered for Tim Robinson's role, but they wanted Tim Robinson's because I think he just fits more better.
Yeah. No, I couldn't see Tom Cruise.
When you think slub, who do you think? You think Tom Cruise? You think Tim Robbins?
I think Tim Robbins.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't see Orville Barnes here doing any stunts.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so this came out in 1994, like we said. 11 million in box office, but only 2 million in domestic.
Oh my gosh.
This came out 174 out of 200 movies back in 1994.
Oh my gosh, it did nothing in the domestic theater. Holy shit.
True. Top 10 films of 1994 was Lion King. You were alive in 1994. Did you beg your parents to go see Lion King? Like, no. I want to see the Lion King.
No, actually. I don't know if I saw that in theaters.
The Circle of... That's all I can sing.
Aladdin was the first movie I ever saw in theaters.
That's cool.
Yeah. That was 92.
Second was Forrest Gump. I gotta rewatch that. I gotta see if it's bad. I just gotta, I know it's corny as shit. I know it's corny as shit.
Yeah, no, but it's one of those movies that it's a crime that it took all the Oscars from The Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah, and Pulp Fiction.
And Pulp Fiction. Yeah. But it's still a good movie.
Yeah.
I
just gotta watch it again.
Yeah.
I just gotta see it.
Watch it again.
I don't think I've ever actually seen it full. I think I've seen the TNT versions, bits and pieces.
Sure.
And I've seen one full.
That is one of those movies that's always on TV.
Yeah. Definitely. True Lies, number 3. Nice. That's a great movie. That was fun. Number 4. Sorry, I'm squeaking a lot during this episode. Number 4, The Santa Claus.
Oh yes.
Yes, the Great Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to take away our Christmas, TJ.
I've never seen it actually. Would you believe me?
Yes, I do. It's okay.
What, does he accidentally kill Santa?
Yeah, he kills Santa, takes Santa's pot.
I do love that.
And now in the new series, it's a war on Christmas. So, they're trying to take the Christ out of Christmas, TJ.
Oh my god.
Tim Allen won't let that stand.
That's funny, actually.
Yeah. Number 5 is The Flintstones.
I love it, even though it's objectively not a good movie.
Yeah.
I love the production.
Rick Moranis is great in it. It's just everything...
Kyle
MacLachlan's in it.
As our villain.
I don't know if that was the movie he did instead of Fire's Walk With Me, because I think that was the same year, 94, right?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I know that by the time Fire Walk With Me came out, he was sick of playing that character.
Yeah, he was like, no, I'm not doing it. Not anymore.
Do you think he called David, or was on the phone with David Lynch while he was in his like
Yeah.
Flintstones tunic? And he was like, "No, David, not again.
Not again.
I want to diversify, David. I want to yabba dabba do something different."
Number 6 is Clear and Present Danger.
Okay.
A good John Ryan film. Harrison Ford film also. Yeah. I watched it. I was like, political thrillers back then, way less action. Very slow pace, but, tells a great story. And
I know I've seen it. It's been a long time. And all I know is that I remember enjoying it, but The Fugitive blows it out of the water.
True, yeah.
And I will always think of The Fugitive before I think of that movie.
That's true.
Always.
Harrison Ford replaced Alec Baldwin as John Ryan. So
yes.
It's like, they originally wanted Harrison Ford to do it, but he said no. And so they got, we'll do Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin did Hunt for Red October. Huge success. It was great. But then they were going to do the other ones, and Harrison Ford was like, yeah, I'll do it. And so they replaced Adam Baldwin with Harrison Ford, and then Harrison Ford just became John Ryan. So, yeah.
Interesting how that works, isn't it?
True. Number 7 is Speed, the best action movie of the 90s, I say.
That's a good movie.
It's
a damn good movie.
True.
My favorite part is when
good.
Dennis Hopper says, "Pabst Blue Ribbon."
I remember my first time drinking Coke out of a bottle. One of the first times. I saw Dennis Hopper do it in that movie, so it's like, I gotta get some Coke. So I would go to the liquor store, pick up some Mexican Cokes, and just drink them.
So much better.
Yeah.
With that real sugar.
With that real sugar, yeah. Number 8, The Mask.
I love The Mask.
Yeah.
Now talk about a live action cartoon done well.
True.
That's a great example. True. Love The Mask.
Number 9, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Good movie.
The best show's performance for worst performance ever, Mrs. Doubtfire.
I do like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Who doesn't love Mrs. Doubtfire?
Movie.
I remember watching it on the way to a haunted house once.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember having the VHS.
Sure. Mm.
My parents had it, technically, but
Sure.
that was the first time I saw Pierce Brosnan.
I know. I remember one time in class we were deciding what movie to watch, and somebody says Mrs. Doubtfire, and all the guys were like, "What's Mrs. Doubtfire?" I'm like, "I love Mrs. Doubtfire," and every girl was like, "You love I love Mrs. Doubtfire too." So,
and then your other classmate was like, "You're only here because our parents are
yeah,
friends with
exactly.
yours."
Yes, that's what happened to me in my AP English class.
Yeah, fuck that kid.
Yeah. And number 10, Interview with the Vampire, which I thought was Interview with a Vampire.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
It's one of those Mandela effect, I think.
Yeah.
People are like, "No, they changed the Cosmos. Fucking changed the name of this movie."
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it did not.
Yeah. So that was
some real heavy hitters there.
Real heavy hitters in 1994. 94 was a good movie year.
It really was, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
It really, really was.
So, I guess that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Way longer than Night at the Magic Castle.
Gee, it's funny when you actually have shit to talk about.
Yeah, and way less molestation, so that's good.
Way less molestation.
Yeah.
They actually, made the characters up to look like they were of the time. They didn't just pick the first guy that
I still love that. He was in a sweatsuit the very beginning.
You're Harry Houdini.
Yes, and you're wearing a 1980s tracksuit.
Yeah.
And he didn't try.
Oh, what a piece of garbage.
God.
What a piece of garbage.
Oh, yeah, wait. We gotta spin the wheel to see what movie comes next. Hold on one second. Let me see what we got.
The Dirt Bike Kid, baby.
If it's the Dirt Bike Kid, I'm gonna be excited.
I know you will, you sick bastard.
I am a sick bastard. Let's see what we got, folks. What's our next movie? TJ.
Is it the Dirt Bike Kid?
It's the Dirt Bike Kid.
Yeah!
Yeah, baby!
I just have Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Let's do this, baby. Let's watch the Dirt Bike Kid.
Let's get that over with.
Let's watch some kid save a hot dog stand with this
one,
bike.
Is this one on YouTube as well?
Yes, it is.
Oh, thank Christ.
It's free on YouTube, folks, if you want to watch it. Probably won't be taken down because I don't think whoever made it really cares. So, yeah. We're going to see Ralphie ride a dirt bike.
Oh, that's right. It's Ralphie from Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I never remember his name.
Me neither, but he's actually a famous producer now. He's friends with Vince Vaughn, and he made all those Vince Vaughn movies.
That's funny. These kids that play in these awful movies go on to produce multi-million-dollar things. Like
yeah.
The kid that did WandaVision, and then I saw he did he do Captain America: Brave New World? Or
I
something?
think so. I think he's doing the new. Didn't you tell me he's doing the new Fantastic Four?
That's what it is. He's directing the new Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Incredible.
True.
How far they've come.
Okay, well, if you like the show, please follow, subscribe, listen, whatever you have to do. We're on SoundCloud, Spotify, and YouTube. Please like, subscribe, as I said before. And also, I guess follow us on social media. I can't get into the Twitter account right now. I don't know why.
Dude, fuck it. Forget that.
I don't know. Maybe
forget X.
Yeah, forget X. Maybe
Fuck
forget Facebook. I don't know.
Forget Facebook too. I don't even have Facebook anymore.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah,
dude.
fuck that. We're not on social media anymore. We're canceling it.
Dude,
We're trying to live a better
man.
lifestyle. We're living the positive lifestyle. No social media at all. But yeah, so please Spotify. Rate us on Spotify.
Yes.
Comment about us. Do anything you want to us. Listen to us while you're probably on the toilet, which I do all the time. Hi Dad and hi Uncle Dino if you're listening to this.
Hi Sal and Dino.
Hi Sal and Dino. How you doing?
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. And I'm Mo. And ha 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 ha.
And I'm TJ, and I now want to jump 44 flights to my death.
Bye everybody. Have a nice night. Let's have Robert Mitchum play us out. Bye.
Adios.
Adios.